Good morning, caffeine fiends, and welcome to another video for www.getbeaned.com. I'm the Mean Bean Machine, and today we'll be reviewing Union Coffee's Maraba Rwanda whole bean single origin coffee. Now, I know in a lot of my videos I tend to confuse any sort of coffee beans with blends and just say this is a blend. So I must clarify this is a single origin from Rwanda. Now, the packaging actually claims this is the oldest specialty coffee from Rwanda, which is interesting because I've tried a lot of, Rwandan coffees, but this claims to be the first. So there you go. As you can see, we've got a nice crema on there, on the top of that. When I opened the pack, the actual beans have a really kind of strong caramelly smell, which is interesting because, as you can see on the front there, it says it's got notes of citrus, red berries, and toffee. Now, toffee is not something I would usually kind of associate with the citrusy or the berry flavours, so I'm interested to see how that comes through. As you can see, they've given it a score of 2 out of 3 in their roast and a strength of 4. I believe that's out of 5, but I'm not 100% sure because they don't actually tell you their scoring system. Big fan of Union Coffee. I was trained by them years ago as a barista. All of their kind of bags come with a little bit of blurb about this, and this is where you find out this is the first specialty Rwandan coffee. I picked this bag up, which is 200 grams, in my local Sainsbury's for £5. So it's not bad going, but it's not, the cheapest. That being said, Union are like the best of what you can get in supermarkets, in my humble opinion. If you want kind of more specialty stuff, you have to go to coffee shops or to the roasters themselves. Another thing I like about Union is they slip in a little bit about, a little coffee card. So, I mean, in this one, it's reusing coffee in your coffee, reusing your coffee grounds in your garden. They also have little bits about, the perfect grind or the best brew methods sometimes. So it's worth kind of, if you are browsing their bags, just keeping a note on what they're slipping into the pockets. So we'll give this a smell. Now the crema's actually settled quite a lot there, but you can see a big shout out to fans of the Get Beaned YouTube channel over at Aimless Nation. They sent us some lovely see-through coffee cups, so to aid our YouTube channel, and so you can view the coffee after it's been poured. So big shout out to them, and do check them out over at Aimless Nation TV. Now we'll give this a smell. So the citrusy smell comes through more, the berry smell comes through more once it's been kind of poured. So you get the caramel or the toffee smell instantly from the bag, but the citrus smell comes through, the berry smell comes through. The fruitiness comes through, shall we say, more once it's been come out as the espresso. So we'll give this a sip. Interesting. I can sort of get the berries. The toffee is not really there for me, but there's not a lot of citrusy flavours. There's not a lot of pinging acidity. It's quite mild, and I think that's kind of where Union, or certainly the ones I'm picking up in the supermarkets, are pitching themselves. They're kind of this mid-level kind of, this is decent coffee for people entering the coffee field, if you like. This is for people who no longer want, your freeze-dried coffee. They want specialty coffee, but, aren't bold enough to yet take the plunge into more punchy blends. That's not a dig at Union, by the way. I'm a big fan of theirs. But they don't tend to do kind of the strongest coffees. I quite like that. That's a nice mild coffee, and I will drink that day in, day out, no problem. It's interesting. The citrus and the red berries, I'm sort of, I'm getting the red berries, yes. The toffee notes I got off the smell initially. And I guess there's something to it as a finish. It takes any sort of kind of tanginess away from that berried taste. So there's not a lot of tanginess. It has this kind of coating that coats the tongue from the toffee, I guess. The citrus is not really coming through for me. That might just be me, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I like that. I do like that. I am now at that point within my coffee drinking kind of lifetime that I want something more punchy. But that is a really kind of nice single origin that's not too, it's not wildly striking, but it is, it's, you get bold flavours that people will kind of love or hate. And I think that's a nice kind of route to go down. And you go, look, this is a good coffee that I think a lot of people will, like. So I would serve that, at a dinner party or, after drinks or something like that. That is a nice coffee. Now we'll give it a go with milk. I am expecting it to sort of be overpowered with milk, or with oat milk, but we'll see how it goes. As you can see, I've given that a latte pour with some oat milk. Now, oat milk is notoriously hard to froth. Well, it's not notoriously hard. That's wrong. It is harder to froth because of the fat proteins, basically. If you are used to buying milk, regular full fat milk lattes, how you get the kind of bubbles, the micro bubbles, is by foaming the fat proteins, and that's how you get the difference between foam and milk. So it's a lot harder to do that with plant-based milks or nut milks, but I'm plant-based in my diet, so I use oat milk as I find it's the best milk alternative. So yeah, that's my kind of oat milk latte. As you can see, I am out of practice, and my machine is actually probably needs a bit of updating in terms of the pressure it gives off. But I'm quite happy with that pour to a reasonable degree. So we'll give it a go as a sort of latte drink. As you can see a reasonable nice amount of separation. I'm quite happy with that considering I just knocked it out, but let's give it a go. Oh, actually, that is really lovely as a milky latte drink. I was not expecting that. I think that actually is more, it's odd that you find a coffee that works better with milk. Now I am a big kind of latte drinker, and within the coffee world you can sometimes get criticised for that. There's people that like coffee, and then there's people that like lattes. I think that's just a level of snobbishness really. If you like your freeze-dried Nescafe with 16 spoons of sugar, then good for you, that's what you like, and so on. But yeah, I think as a milky coffee, that is really nice. The richness comes through a lot more, and the toffee then does start to come through. The kind of, it's not horrendously sweet. It's not a sweet coffee, or it is a sweet coffee, but it's not. You don't kind of sip it and go, oh, that's sweet. There's a richness to it. There's a body to it. Again, it's not like a really full-bodied, rich punch in the base, but I really think that works as a kind of a latte drink, and that's really lovely. So yeah, I do like that a lot. £5 from Sainsbury's for 200 grams. Would recommend as a milky drink. If you're a black coffee drinker that likes a bit of punch, maybe I'd go for something else, but it's a nice single origin coffee. Maraba from Rwanda. Thank you very much for watching, and do like and subscribe.